Hello friends, welcome back to our big barn in southern Sweden where I am just about to embark on soldering the patch bays for this recording studio that we're building. So this video is going to be a lot of me sitting around with a soldering iron. Elsa is doing stuff. She's staining the acoustic baffles for the booth ceiling, which is good. And we have another new recruit. Olivia is here from Stockholm and she is cleaning the wall outside. Sorry for sneaking up on you.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, it's looking great. Yeah, Olivia is cleaning the wall outside so that we can paint this courtyard, which is going to be the last finishing touch to the outside of this place. Hopefully we'll probably transform this. But I am going to be in here for a week. Very happy to be using my electronics bench. I have desoldered this patch bay. I got these really nice old Mosses & Mitchell TT patch bays second-hand when I was in Berlin. But they started off looking like this, and so this morning I desoldered it, which was more of a mission than I thought it would be. Last night I started off putting TT connections on the end of this loom, which is for the desk line outs, Studer line out it says. And now I'm just refreshing my memory about normaling on the patch bay. So this patch bay is going to be half normaled, which means that when nothing's plugged into it, the top hole and the bottom hole will pass signal even without a cable. If you plug something into the top hole, the top and bottom holes will remain connected, which means that you can actually split the signal from the top hole. So let's just say you have a microphone coming in and you want to send it to a compressor, but you also want to just send the dry signal into the interface as well. So you can basically split one off to a compressor, out of that compressor and into the interface, and then on a separate channel you'll just have the dry signal from the mic into the interface, which is pretty cool. You can do like parallel compression and stuff. But when you put a jack in the bottom hole, it actually breaks the connection between the top and the bottom. I can demonstrate it now. So yeah, that's half normaled. Full normaled, I believe, is just when it's always connected from the top and the bottom, but we don't want that in this case. So yeah, what am I going to do in this video? I'm just going to be doing a lot of soldering. I'm in at the deep end. I've never soldered a TT Bantam patch bay before. So I'm going to work out my method, and then I will share with you what I learn, and maybe it'll be useful to someone, which would make a change. Alright, please subscribe if you haven't already, and yeah, wish me luck. Right, I've spent quite a few hours now and I've done 13 connections, and I have a bit of a method going, so I thought I would just show you this method. The method might change as this video goes on, but for now this is my method. So this is method number one. It might be my only method, but Elsa's going to try and film me doing this. Okay, so this is my rig. I happen to have this kind of photography arm thing, which is what I use for doing my voiceovers, to hold my phone with the script. So that's up here, which holds the cable quite nicely at this angle. I have the patch bay held in my vise, which I've lined with some thick pieces of rubber yesterday, so that is not going to damage it. This clamp here clamps the cables out of the way, so I can only just have the one that I'm working on there, which makes it nice. I have some compressed air here, which I can use to blow out everything every now and again, make sure there's no bits of wire trapped in there where there shouldn't be. And I think that's it. So Elsa's going to take over filming now, and I'll talk you through what I'm doing. Okay, so to begin with, I basically measured this out as far as I knew I would go, which is 14 holes. This is for the 14 channels of my desk. and then I held this in position like this using this thing, and then each one I basically cut it off to length, so they're kind of increasing in length each time. And this one I've already cut, but yeah, just something like that. Then I've discovered that this is much better if you do it quite long. So stripping the wire there, giving yourself quite a bit to play with, definitely makes it easier later. So twisting this up. Nip that bit off of that paper there. Okay, and stripping these wires, again, kind of quite generously. So then, the normaling wires, which are the wires that connect the top row to the bottom row, I did prepare these in advance, but I've since changed my method. So I would still prepare these in advance, but just give a slightly longer bit of wire sticking out. And then I basically pre-twist these together before I solder anything at all. I just twist the normaling wire and the normal wire together. Same on the other one. Everything's color coded so that I don't mess up. And then the last thing I do here is slide on a piece of heat shrink onto the ground wire. I slide it all the way in and then I pull it back a little bit like that, and then I just cut it off somewhere like that, and then when I slide it back I have a little bit sticking out. Okay, so now I'm ready to tin this stuff. So soldering iron, just tin each one. Okay, so now on the patch bay itself I have pre-tinned each of these little terminals, and I start with the furthest one away from me for obvious reasons. You don't want to be soldering over wires if possible, and you could use needle nose pliers for this, but I think it's kind of fine with just your fingers. I just stuff that through at an angle like that, and that's done. Then next one, get the soldering iron there, heat that terminal, stuff the wires through. I think that's far enough. Yeah, that's okay. You can bend these out of the way now. And then, last but not least, is the ground connection. Melt that solder, shove that in there, boom, like that. So at this point, if you want to, if you need to, you can get in there and you can snip off any excess wire, but I don't have any this time, which is kind of nice. Okay, and then just sort of double checking that everything's looking good. Once you've done 4 or so, you can just cable tie them onto this strain relief bar. Like that. Boom, snip that off. So I think just that's good for now. I think when you've finished everything, you can replace these cable ties with neater ones that basically just bunch everything together. But that, as far as I can figure out, is the desk outputs soldered up. So now I think I'm going to flip this round, Going to basically mirror my entire rig here, move the cables to the other side, flip it round and solder the other side of this, which is going to be the interface, which I've already prepared here. These are for the interface. And these don't have any normaling wires. It should be a bit quicker. It's just stripping them and then soldering them on. Yeah, I don't know if Elsa wants to film all of that, but maybe I'll set up and just film myself doing it. Anyway, yeah, cool. Right, so I have done those first 8. I'm going to rest my bum now because this chair is not the most comfortable. So another 6 to go, and then that is all the desk line outs on the patch bay with interface. I will then continue. I'm just going to continue along here. I don't know how long this is going to take. We'll see. But yeah, this was a slightly different method, but not really. I just tinned each connector in advance, and then I didn't really bother poking the wire through the hole. I just tinned each wire as well, and then just kind of stuck it into the blob of solder that's on the terminal. This is very intense, but I think it looks really nice. I like all the different colours. I like this kind of custard and cream wire. Yeah, this is cool as well. Bloody hell. Why am I doing this? Right. That is nearly two sets of D-sub cables for the interface. That's nearly 2 sets of those. I've left the last 2. There's 14 channels of the Studer. So according to my plan here, I now start on the outboard preamps. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and figure out how long I need to make that cable, and then I'll cut a piece of the multi-core and I will solder that onto here, and I'll do another 16. So that'll be over half of this patch bay done. So yeah, I'm getting better at this. Still using the same method though. So method number 1 is still holding tight. Okay, let's go and measure up for some cable. I gotta say, this is just really perfect for this. I do voiceover work, and this is what I use to hold my phone, which has the script on it, and I have it kind of like that next to my microphone. But just having this kind of arm to hold these cables, you can just lay them all in there, and it's pretty neat, and it kind of holds it all at the right angle so that you can do all this stuff. So yeah, get yourself an arm like this somehow. Alright, that is, what is it? It's so late, I'm so confused. That is 24. No, that's 30. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 21, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. That's 30. That's nearly all of the mic pre's. That is all the mic pre's. So then now I need to do the other side, which involves me using these old cables, which I've had for years, which work fine. They're just annoyingly numbered backwards for some reason. I don't know if this is some other convention of D-sub labelling, but these have always been a pain in the arse because the numbers are backwards. So I'll have to remember that when I solder them on here, otherwise it's going to be all wrong. Yeah, anyway. Right, I think that is this end of this done. Still a bit of tidying up with some cable ties and stuff. But yeah, that is 24 channels of interface in and 24 channels of mic pre out. I still have to do the other end of the mic pre's, some of the mic pre's, but I also decided to change this slightly because originally I had the compressors from the desk and the direct outs from the desk and the mult. I had them at the end of this bay, but I realized I should actually leave this free in case I ever get another desk or I need more channels and another interface, for example. So yeah, that's been kind of the hard bit really with planning these patch bays, is kind of planning ahead and just trying to make it all kind of streamlined, like especially just making sure that you just have single multi-cores on each patch bay. You don't really want to spread a snake between two patch bays, it's just going to become a nightmare. So that took me a while, kind of working out the layout of everything so that you can easily solder this up, and if you want to you can remove a whole patch bay, unplug everything and then pull it out and change stuff. I still might tweak this again, but for now I'm feeling pretty good about this. So I'm going to solder the ends now for the mic pre's. So that's the tone lux out, the Neve, rerun, AccuVerb and the red. I'll solder some XLRs onto the ends of this cable, and then I will start, I think, on this patch bay, which should be fairly simple. It's just there's no normaling. I think I've done most of the normaling. There's a little bit here, but yeah, I'm going to start on this one, which is basically all the compressors, outboard compressors and EQ and stuff, and cassette machines and stuff. This is quite important as well, to have a fan blowing across you as you solder, blowing away all the flux fumes. Alright, XLR time. Right, that is the first one done, and I think I've learned something here from trying to tidy this up. I've learned, I think, basically strip off as much of the outer case of multi-core as possible if you want it to look really neat. These two were a little bit too short. They were ones that I added in later, so that's why there's a splice there. But all in all, not too bad. I think if you have extra ones that you don't need, like extra lines that you don't need, leave them as long as the patch bay, and then just cable tie them backwards onto the line, just so, because you never know, you might want to add something, but make sure they're long enough, because that's the mistake I made. I cut them off too short because they were with the first batch. Yeah, I've soldered on all these connectors for the mic pre's. Meanwhile, Olivia is painting the wall of the lab. Yes, this is all coming together. So now I'm going to start on that next patch bay, the one for all the compressors and stuff. Hopefully it'll be a bit easier because there's no normaling. We'll see. Right, first thing I need to do is desolder all of this. Bloody hell. Okay, number 2 is clear. Such a beautiful thing when it's all clean. So I'm going to start on this one, and I've colour coded the holes to show which particular loom is going to make up those. So because the Fairchild, the LA4s and the Pultex are all going to be in one place in the studio, I'm going to make a loom which serves those, and then the same with the 500 stuff, and same with each batch. So each group of pieces of outboard has its own loom like that, and the same with this stuff here. And for some reason that took me ages to work out, but it makes sense. So I'm going to start at this end, which is this end, and I'm just going to make a 16-way loom. Wow, looking great. This room is transforming. All you need to do to make a room feel like a room is paint the walls. It's obvious. So Elsa and Olivia are painting. Here I am, where am I? Got a headache, all this wiring. I've done the first 16 of this, and I have 3 more 16s to do on this patch bay. I should be able to get this done today. Okay, I'm nearly finished with the second patch bay, and one thing I've figured out is the first patch bay I did one side and then I flipped it around and did the other side, so I was always soldering on the side closest to me. But I've now figured out another way, maybe this is method 2, where I solder the furthest row away from me first, pulling the wires towards me, like through the hole, kind of vertically through the hole. Seems to be really neat, and then I don't have to flip the whole thing around and I can just work from one side. I think it's better, I think it's faster, because I've nearly done this whole patch bay. I'll try and film this. Elsa's not here to film me, so I'll try to show you what I'm talking about if I can get this close enough. So first thing I do, measure how long it needs to be, cut it off, and then I solder them before I put the heat shrink on. I've realised that actually works better. So quick solder. I have a whole tray of pre-cut heat shrink pieces here. Shrink it. So I'm kind of coming in from the back of the terminal towards myself each time. So that way I can see how much of the wire pokes through and that it's not going to touch any other terminal. And yeah, it's kind of nice that it kind of comes in vertically almost into the terminal. It's quite nice. Okay, jumped ahead a little bit, kind of got lost in the solder smoke. Uh-oh. But yeah, I think, kind of finished the patch bays. This is the chaos that's left behind here. And I've made a whole load of XLR patch cables with a bit of help from Vincent. If we go in here. Hello, Elvin. Olivia is working her way around the lab, looking fantastic. Looks beautiful in here. Yeah, so 2 patch bays, 3 patch bays. There's one, there's another one, and there's another one. So the patch bays are pretty much done. I think I have to add a few links for the headphones, sorry, I am completely frazzled as usual. But tomorrow, Saturday, I'm going to try hooking it all up. I have a voiceover to do for German TV, so I need this to work tomorrow. So yeah, I'm going to hook it up. Yeah, and then I'll do some more filming and more wiring. So yeah, I have to wire up the microphone wall box in the booth. That still needs doing. And then I have the other XLR patch bays to do. So yeah, it's going to be a long weekend of wiring, I think. We've got 2 of those done, the XLR ones. There's a lot more to do. Who am I kidding? Alright, see you tomorrow. Well, yeah, I kind of jumped right ahead there. You don't really want to watch more soldering, do you? I think you get the idea. So, where am I now? It's Sunday. It's an hour until the video goes out. I have been wiring all weekend. I'm totally shattered. I'm just kind of plumbing everything in. Bloody hell, this was supposed to be really organised. Yeah, okay, well, I'm trying to get it all plumbed in. Obviously I haven't built all of the new studio furniture yet, but yeah, I guess you'll have to wait until next week to find out if it all works. Yeah, okay, thanks for sticking with this video. That's going to be the last time I do loads of soldering like that for a while, hopefully. Yeah, next week, who knows what will happen next week. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and it's kind of embarrassing that I'm always so shattered every video, but yeah, we're getting there with this. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, for your support. It really means a lot to us. Yeah, I will see you next week for something, don't know what yet. Until then, look after each other, lots of love, and goodbye.